ladies and gentlemen. It is so awesome to see such a huge turnout for the spring concert. If you guys don't already know who I am, my name is Mr. Weathers. I'm the band director here. What you guys just saw was our New Hampstead High School percussion ensemble. They're busy scurrying around on stage behind me getting ready for the next piece. That was a piece called Down Under. If you want to follow along in our program this evening, we have well over 20 pieces of music for you guys today. So I'm going to try to talk as little as I have to so that we can, you guys came to see them play. They're amazing. All the kids you're going to see on stage today. We've got our beginning band. This is our first year doing beginning band class here at New Hampstead. We've got students on stage that just started playing in January. They're doing 3 whole pieces. We got 5 songs in store for you with advanced wins. We got a bunch of solo repertoire that our students have been working on. Music and music study and you know, the arts are alive and well here at New Hampstead, so it's just really cool to work with these kids every day because they are just really talented. You guys are going to see a lot of awesome musicianship this evening. So thank you for being here. Thank you for letting your student participate in music and instrumental music. If you guys want to follow along in the program, if you notice, either to my right or to my left, we have some big green QR codes. That's a link to our virtual program this evening. The piece that we just played was Down Under. And we'll talk about the other QR codes as well as the night rolls on. We do have a 50-50 raffle going on tonight, so if you guys want to buy a ticket for that, if you haven't already done so, please do so. Half those proceeds go to us, and the other half is going to go to one lucky winner tonight here in the audience after we get to the advanced wins. So, okay, I'm going to stop talking. The next piece we got for you is a piece called Limestone, so I hope you guys enjoy. So I do have to do a little bit of talking while our kids get set up for the next piece, give you guys kind of some background on this next piece. The first 2 pieces you guys heard are kind of middle of the road. We sight read them pretty well, and we had a lot of fun with them. One was more mallet oriented, and the other was more drum oriented. The big fancy word for drum in music circles would be membranophones. And so we talked about all that different stuff during class. This next piece is a much more difficult piece of music. It's a piece called Centrifugal, and it encompasses a lot of different sounds in the percussion ensemble. You're going to see solos from Adrian Nettles over here on the 3 toms. You're going to see solos from Kendra Jones over here on the timpani. You're going to see music that shifts in and out of 4/4 time to 5/4 time, which is what we call an asymmetric meter. And it's really difficult to count that kind of thing. And so they're doing a ton of multitasking while they're playing this piece. This piece was a big challenge for us. We tried to do it a couple years ago and weren't able to pull it off. And this year we've really grown in our size and skill set. So we are doing an abridged version of Centrifugal, and I hope that you guys enjoy. Pretty tough piece of music, I think they do really well with it. So, I also forgot to mention Niall Parchment over here on a bass drum solo. I don't know if you guys caught that, but he deserves a round of applause. He plays the drum. Very, very good. Okie dokie. So from here, we're going to have a little bit of a transition. Our final percussion piece for you this evening is something that's a little bit non-traditional. It's a piece called Sits, and we decided we were done playing drums and marimba, and we wanted to play on some chairs and stools. So that's what we're going to do for you here in just a second.
Oh, hello there. That's funny. Yay, chairs. You can go cat!
Ladies and gentlemen, the New Hampstead High School Percussion Ensemble. All right, now from here, we're going to have some more transition. Strike the stage. We're going to hear from a couple of soloists. So let's go ahead and clear the stage, everybody.
Bye-bye.
And we have some really talented percussionists in our studio and in our class for this semester. We got some really talented freshmen, really talented seniors. And one of our talented freshmen's name is Adrian Nettles, comes from West Chatham Middle. And Adrian had the opportunity to audition for a drum and bugle corps. If you guys don't know, DCI, Drum Corps International, it's kind of like the NFL or the MLB of band, basically. These are independent drum and bugle corps. They're not associated with a school or a college. They compete internationally across the nation. And he auditioned for Georgia's DCI corps, which is called Spirit of Atlanta, for this year, which is a pretty big honor that he got that opportunity. So he's going to play for you the audition material for his Spirit of Atlanta audition. Take it away, Adrian.
Hey guys, how are y'all doing?
Great.
He's only 15 years old. That is a ton of notes to play on the marimba. So now we've got our illustrious percussion senior and percussion section leader, Miss Pine Karate. She learned an etude that I gave her, etude in G major by some guy, I forget the composer. But if you guys check out the program, you can find out who the composer is. So Pine, they're all yours. Beautiful job, Tom. And the next student we have in store for you guys, he actually plays trumpet. His name is Sebastian Brito. He's been our trumpet one for the last 3 years. He's a very talented trumpet player, auditioning at District Honor Band for this year. However, he decided he wanted to play something on the piano for you guys. So he's going to play a piece called Watermark on the school's brand new, it's not new, but it's brand new to us, baby grand piano over here. So Sebastian, they're all yours. This is our last soloist for this intermission. We have our freshman tuba player, Miss Marisol De Leon. She's going to play the bel canto studies. These are collegiate music studies. They're etudes. This is a particularly long one that explores the range of the tuba. It's in 3/4. And she's done just a fabulous job. She's really one of the most talented freshman tuba players that I've had the pleasure of working with in a long time. So she's going to take a second to get her chair and stand set up. And then once she's ready to go, she's going to play study number 1 from the bel canto studies for you guys. Real quick, just see, this is the beginning band that you guys see. Real quick, guys, show of hands on stage. Who started playing their instrument in January? And started reading music and all the things. So what you just heard, they have been only doing for about 3 months, three and a half, 4 months. So that's really impressive. So the next piece that the beginning band has in store for you guys is a piece about tornadoes and storm chasing. That's actually the title. It's called Storm Chasing by William Owens. The last piece you just heard was the Star Splitter Fanfare by, I think, Brian Balmages. And so you're going to hear a tornado siren in this, a really cool low brass groove. And it's a beginning band piece. So it focuses on the fundamentals of playing a wind instrument, the first 5 or 6 notes of the B-flat major scale. We've got many of these students who are going to be continuing on with us, going to band camp next summer, coming up this summer, last 2 weeks of July, which is going to be July 14th through the 25th from 9 to 5 p.m. And it is so important. Now, I mean, you guys see, we have definitely doubled our size in the span of 1 semester. It is so important that these kids continue to play their instrument. As you guys see the concert progress through the evening, you're going to notice the music get harder and harder and the kids being able to do more and more. And that all just comes with experience and time. So I really can't thank y'all enough for continuing to have your child involved playing a musical instrument. There's so many studies out there that showcase it helping literacy and math and helping the culture of a school and all the different things. Music is just good for you and your brain all the time. So please keep them coming back, and I hope everyone comes out to band camp with us. So without further ado, here is Storm Chasing by William Owens. So very cool to make that kind of music and for everyone to be successful at that piece. It's a ton of fun, and that's what we kind of focused on this semester, was just having fun playing our instrument, kind of developing a relationship with our instrument. And we are just having a blast in the beginning band class. It's just so cool to work with those kids every day. I'm very proud of them for all their hard work and all their efforts. And so the final piece we have in the beginning band portion of our concert this evening is our favorite piece. It's called Mechanical Monsters by Randall Standridge. It involves a lot of interesting kind of non-traditional techniques. You're going to hear the kids hiss. They're going to play their music stand with a pencil. You're going to hear some interesting percussion sounds in the back of the room. And the whole piece is supposed to represent evil robots. All right, so here's our evil robot piece, Mechanical Monsters. Thank you guys so much again.
I will buy.
Gentlemen, the new Hampstead High School beginning band. Come on out the band camp, y'all. Keep playing your instrument, keep them involved, because what you're about to see next in the advanced wins is what can happen. So we're going to have a brief intermission between the advanced band performance of the concert. So we're going to have a few more soloists for you this evening, and I hope you guys enjoy. So we have a senior alto saxophone player by the name of Jihad Urban. And Jihad is really, really talented at the alto saxophone, y'all. You're about to hear some really fine, mature musicianship. He's going to be playing 2 different saxophone studies. One of them, I believe, Jihad is from the District Honor Band auditions this year. Am I right about that? Yep. And then it should be, I think, number 20 and number 23. Is that right? Cool. So Jihad's going to be playing some etudes for you. And Jihad, whenever you're ready, they're all yours. fine musicianship. Incredibly maturely played. Take a bow, John. Beautiful. Man, we got some real talent here at New Hampstead. It's just so cool to work with these kids every day, man. Jihad is just a great musician. Speaking of great musicians, we got our illustrious band captain. Y'all want to hear a crazy story about Tashawn Williams? He started on this instrument. I literally found him during an open house just wandering around the hallway. He had a big old fro back then. I could see him from like a mile away. And I went, hey, you're going to do band. And he was like, okay. And then he just showed up to band class, and I gave him this instrument. And I'm telling you, within the span of not even 12 months, he was already auditioning for District Honor Band. So here's his audition material. I'm just so proud of him. Tashawn, take it away.
Good job. Which one's the play?
And we have another very important student leader who's been preparing a piece on the clarinet for you guys. This is Miss Anaya Vance. She is definitely one of the most talented high school clarinet players I've had the pleasure of working with recently. Connor Brinson's in the audience right now. She's one of, not the. So. Anaya is just a pleasure to work with. She is a great teacher along with being a musician. The band kids love her. I love working with her. She keeps me in check. And so without further ado, Anaya, they're all yours. Incredibly maturely played. Excellent job, Anaya. And the last, this isn't a solo work, this is something that the seniors, plus a really talented freshman we have by the name of Rash Shaheen. The seniors include Mr. Harry Morgan, affectionately known as Trip, Jihad, and Pine. Pine not only plays percussion, but she also did clarinet in beginning band, so she's multi-talented. You're going to see her play the clarinet. And they're doing a really cool barbershop quintet wind arrangement called Ebb Tide. as part of kind of the senior thing. And these kids did this themselves. They picked out the music themselves, they rehearsed it themselves, and so I'm just super proud of them. So whenever you guys are ready, take it away. Ebb Tide.
Woo, truck.
and gentlemen, that first piece you heard by the New Hampstead High School Symphonic Wind Ensemble was called Skygazer Fanfare. And it was the first piece of our festival concert for this semester. And what festival is, or LGPE, Large Group Performance Evaluation, is it's kind of like the standardized testing for wind bands. And what happens is all the wind bands from across the state go on a stage in front of a panel of judges, musical experts, and they give you a rating of superior, which is about as good as you can do, all the way down to 4, which is fair, which is really bad. And, every year we've gone to LGPE since I returned to New Hampstead 3 years ago. We've gotten overall superiors from all 3 judges, but they have a bunch of other boxes that on the judge sheet where they talk about like tone, balance, blend, intonation, things like that. Big fancy band words. And you'll get an individual rating of 1, 2, etc. And they aggregate those scores. Well, this year was the very first year we went to the Dublin Festival up in close to Macon. And from all 3 judges, we received superior ratings in every caption on all 3 sheets. So, I am just so proud of these musicians. I'm going to get emotional if I keep going. The next piece we have is called Black Forest Overture. I think you guys will like this one. So we, throughout my career as band director, I have always been criticized by other band directors because I keep being told that I never program a march. And that the band tradition is we have to play a march. John Phillips, Susan. I hate marches. Call me a millennial band director maybe, but I just don't like them. I've never liked them. But I found this really cool march by Brian Balmages. It's called March Diabolique. And it's basically a fancy, I think it's French, and it means March of the Devil. And so you guys are in store for some really cool, interesting, scary, fun sounds. So here is March Diabolique. That piece of music is heavily syncopated. That means the rhythms are really complicated. And I think they did a fabulous job with that. However, the hardest piece of music that has ever been given to the New Hampstead bands, you're about to hear right now.
Let's go!
We're doing an abridged version of it. It is a piece called Lightning Field by John Mackey. And you're going to see some non-traditional instruments up here. Can one of y'all go grab the Thunder Makers? Andrea Blount and Kiera Brown up here are playing these Thunder Makers, and they're going to play them in the microphones. Why don't y'all play them real quick? Let the audience see what they sound like. Yeah. And when you guys think of lightning, this whole piece is about a field. Like we're all from South Georgia, right? You all driven around like the Bryan County and the Effingham counties. You go out there, you see these big fields, right? And if you can imagine a thunderstorm rolling in and lightning striking the field, that's what this piece is about. And I want you to think about lightning, right? Does lightning look like a straight line or does it look like a tree? Which one does it look like? A tree, right? Every part of the lightning does its own thing. And that's what you're going to hear from the musicians. Rarely, if ever, do we all play at the same time. It requires extreme musical independence to pull this off. And they have been doing a phenomenal job. This is our favorite piece for you this evening. I hope you guys enjoy Lightning Field by John Mackey. there is a tough piece of music, y'all. That is not easy to do. All right. Before we do our final piece for you this evening, I know this has been a very long concert. Thank you guys for hanging in there with us. There's a few folks that I need to recognize. Every year we have seniors who graduate. These are folks that have done band for 4 years, and we wish that they could just keep coming back and taking band over and over again, but obviously that's not how things go. We always try to get them a copy of The Places You'll Go by Dr. Seuss. And the first senior I'd like to recognize this evening is Mr. Jihad Urban. Come on in. Miss Pine Karate. Last but certainly not least, affectionately known as Trip, Mr. Harry Morgan. Which brings me to a couple of important announcements. Number one, we have our band banquet coming up May 16th. Not only is band camp super important for you to come and attend, but our band banquet's happening next Friday, and we need everyone to come out to that because it's a time for us to enjoy each other's company and fellowship, eat a bunch of food. I'm going to hand out some really important awards. I'm going to announce the leadership team for the marching band for next year, and I'm also going to be giving speeches and all the things. It's a ton of fun. It's over at the Cary Hilliards next to the Toyota dealership right in front of the Truman Parkway. If you snap a photo of the black and white QR code found around here in the room, you guys can find access to our band website. You scroll all the way to the bottom, you can purchase a ticket. We're also telling students to go ahead and fill out a Google form we have up on the band app. Hopefully everyone knows what I'm talking about. So that we can send those numbers over to Cary Hilliards by tomorrow. So please make sure we get that Google form filled out either tonight or sometime tomorrow, please. From here, I'm going to have one of the boosters come up because we got to announce the winner of our 50-50 raffle before our final piece this evening.
That's my mama.
Everyone, and thank you for coming. I am Jackie Johnson. I'm the treasurer of the Band Boosters. This is Stephanie Morgan, our Band Booster president. Allison Harris, our secretary. Erica Brown, our color guard chair. And Betsy Kane, our vice president. Before we draw our winner for our raffle, I wanted to tell you a little bit about our booster organization. In addition to the huge amount of time and effort that our directors and coaches expend on our band to make them successful, it takes a lot of things in addition to that, such as volunteers and money. Money for things like music, instruments, repairs, uniforms, transportation, food and water, and many other things that pop up, such as ponchos when it rains on our football games. In addition, our banquet, as Mr. Weather said, is on the 16th. It's a wonderful time, but it also has costs associated with it, such as decorations and awards. And in addition, the boosters pay a percentage of the per person ticket price to try to keep it more affordable for our families. We hope to see you all there. Like Mr. Weather said, please let us know by tomorrow that you're going to make it. And get your tickets tonight if you can as well. Our sponsors and our fundraising allow us to keep the band dues lower than most any other band in the state. Marching band takes a lot to keep it functioning. And so we try to keep our band fees affordable. Since the NHX Band Booster Organization is a registered 501c3, sponsorships are fully tax deductible. So if you have a business or work for one who would like to sponsor us, please come find one of us and we'll be happy to help you get signed up. But what truly makes our band successful is people. We need volunteers and active booster members. Boosters are not only chaperones for all of the events, which is very important, but we do what we can to share ideas and make things better for our kids and improve the experience overall. You can check the band app this summer for our first booster meeting, which is normally before band camp starts. Please join us to show your support, offer your feedback, and find ways to make next year even better than this past. Now, let's get to what everyone's waiting for and draw for our 50-50 raffle. We collected $380.
Dang.
So there is $190 up for winning, and our band made $190 to help us with those costs that I mentioned before. So thanks to everyone who participated in the raffle. All right, everyone get your tickets ready. Number 017177. Yay! Come on up! Come get your money! Here you go. All right, thank you all. Yeah, right. That right there is support. You gave it back, so it all goes back to the band. Thank you.
Your New Hampstead High School Symphonic Wind Ensemble. Come on out to the band banquet. Come on out to band camp. Keep your kid in band. I'm telling you, it's good for you. It's good for them. It's good for us. Much love, everyone. What a great night of music making. Please have a wonderful, safe trip home. Band, you guys are dismissed.
Woo!